Oh, hello. Welcome to my new house. Come on in. So welcome to my new house. And by new, I mean a 120-year-old factory that I now call home. Now, this isn't the full-on Cribs edition yet. You're not going to get to see where the magic happens just yet. But what you are gonna see in this video are all of my prints from Printique that adorn the walls, as well as my custom-made photo book wall, because we all know I love photo stories, and I needed to come up with a unique and interesting way to showcase all of my Printique photo books, and I'm gonna show you that in just a minute. But the first thing that I wanna show you are the first two prints that you see when you walk in the door. Any guesses of who they are of? Me. They're me. Now, I didn't do that just because I wanted people to see pictures of me when they walked in the door. I did, really. I wanted them to see me first. It just so happened that these fit together perfectly right inside the door. Now, the size of them, that's 4 feet across by 6 feet high. They're 4 feet by 6 feet. I don't know my metric system, so you'll have to look on the screen for that. But 4 feet by 6 feet, they are massive, and I ordered 21 of them from Printique. They're metal. So you got the metal right there. They got some kind of new printer that allows them to do this, and I had it done with luster coating, and they look fantastic. I mean, I love this picture, this self-portrait, and the reason it's here is, I want people to see me and my history, and this accompanies a lot of, or it encompasses a lot of my history. This is from 2007. You know that mostly because you got an iPhone original right there, so that was pretty new. We got Almost Famous sticking out of the computer because that was one of my inspirations for starting to go on the road as a photographer. We got my passport, an old MacBook, a bunch of different tickets, but you can see all of my different photos that make this one big image. And then the one next to it is a self-portrait that I did. Oh, by the way, that's done with a D2XS, and more on sizing a little bit later, but this was a self-portrait I did with, I think, the D4S right before I moved out of that first loft that I was renting. And if you look up here in the top left, or the middle left, that is the same self-portrait that we just looked at that's hanging on the wall. This was just done a little bigger. I absolutely love this. So 4 feet by 6 feet is a massive thing, but let's get to what I really love, the photo book wall. Come with me. Watch out, kitty, don't get stepped on. You're gonna get stepped on, kitty. Better keep moving, buddy. This is the photo book wall. I have a ton of photo books. Printique printed me, I think it was 43 different photo books that I had made. I've been ordering photo books since 2009, I believe is the oldest one, which is before FroKnowsPhoto. I didn't want to do the traditional bookshelf, where you can only see the spine of the book. I wanted to showcase the actual books because they look incredible. Each one of these is 9 inches by 12 inches, which gives us a 2-page spread that's 12 by 18, no cropping. So we've got 6 shelves. Each shelf can hold roughly 15 of these photo books, which means I've got room for 90 photo books. That means I need to fill it in the future. I need to get out and I need to do more shoots, but I wanted to leave enough room so I could do more things in the future and have room for more Printique books. But this is cool because right here, we've got this little desk that I had made. The whole point of this is that when we're allowed to, I can have people over and we can sit here and we can have discussions and we can look at the books and other people can come by and look at the books when that's all allowed. But what's awesome is I love the quality of these books. Like I said, I've been doing these for years. I get the luster paper because I love the luster printing. I choose to do it with no color correction. It's on by default, so my recommendation is when you go to checkout, if you know that your screen is pretty darn close, then I turn off the color correction because I know that my color correction is really good. And also, I've had sample prints made. So my recommendation to you is maybe get 5 or 10 different 4x6s printed at Printique before you go into a big project, because that way you can hold the prints up when you get them home when they're not color corrected and say, okay, my screen is exactly matching these prints so that you have a better chance of getting a perfect print. But the whole thing is, you can look at these books, fold them back up, put it back up on the wall, And you might be saying, Jared, you're short, you're Jewish, you're only 5'6". No, I'm 5'7". Don't lose an inch, Jared. Everybody always tells me I look shorter or taller in my videos, which is true. That's because of the nice low angle that we do. But Jared, how do you get to the top shelf? I don't know, I'm short. We're still trying to come up with a solution because we can't have a rolly, what do they call that? A rolly ladder here because the desk is right here. So we may come up with like a hook ladder that can slide that I may be able to get different books, but who knows? We'll figure that one out when we get to that situation. Come with me this way. Come on, this way. I want to show you these two big ass prints. I'm going over here, Stephen. Right, Kitty? This is the Grand Canyon. You don't want to fall into it. 4 feet by 6 feet. That one is Paris. This is the Grand Canyon. These are probably going to live somewhere upstairs. They haven't found their final resting place. Down here is mostly the photojournalistic stuff, the one with my bands and maybe some Bernie Sanders stuff. So these may end up maybe in my bedroom because it would be kind of weird if Bernie Sanders' portrait was looking at me in the bedroom at night or when I had a lady over where the magic maybe never happens. I don't know. You'll have to find out at the next edition of Cribs. FroKnowsPhoto style edition. But anyway, Stephen, turn around real fast. And by fast, I mean slow. This right here is how I decided on what prints I was going to make. I ordered 200 or so, like 4x6s of potential pictures that I wanted to blow up to 4 feet by 6 feet. I do this for almost any big thing that I'm doing. I'm doing the Bernie book. I'm starting to lay that out. The first thing I did, I ordered 4x6 prints of everything so I could physically, tangibly hold on to the print to determine which ones I liked. And it's just better than looking at a screen all the time. Plus, these things aren't that expensive. And I always say, if you shoot weddings or events, just order up 50 or 60 or 100 of these. It may cost you 25 bucks to give them to the client and they're gonna be like, oh my God, I got something cool. So I always recommend that. But look, you can see I had a bunch of these different prints blown up, like this Perry Farrell one right here. Perry Farrell is right here on the wall, 4 feet by 6 feet. Look, this is Perry Farrell. This is in 2007. Any guesses to what kind of camera it was shot with? Because people always ask me, how large can you blow up a print from X camera? This is a D2XS. That was a 12 megapixel cropped sensor camera, all right? 12 megapixels, cropped sensor, shot at 1000 ISO. That camera looked like Swiss cheese at 1200 ISO. So this is, you wouldn't be able to look, Stephen, get close to this if you can. Get close to this, look at this. You can't tell me that you would be able to say that this was taken with a crop sensor D2XS camera back in the day. So if I can do that with a 12 megapixel crop sensor at 1000 ISO in a terrible lighting situation, I don't think it really matters. But this is my picture showcase wall, like this first one. We've got Modest Yahoo right here, followed by Perry Farrell on this one. Then we've got Ben Folds right down here. I love this Ben Folds photo. He was flipping me the bird. We interviewed him the morning of this, and then we did the show, and he flipped me off, but a good flip me off. And then this turned into a poster, a tour poster that he ended up doing, but I thought that this was a perfect black and white to put here, done with the luster coating, and I love how awesome and impressive these prints are. And then finally showcasing inside of this picture wall, which was already here. They must have had windows to somewhere. Now there's a building next door, but they blocked it up. This is Dave Grohl. You can see it's at a time when he broke his ankle, which was that big thing when he had that big tour and he broke his ankle. But this print is, I mean, it fits. I am that close to Dave Grohl inside of this room. The cool thing about this is that this is right before a concert. They have a jam room, really small, the entire band and me and a couple of people watching. And I was literally right in the middle. I couldn't move anywhere because I had Dave Grohl here and Chris Shiflett over here and Pat Smear over here. And then the bass player and Taylor Hawkins is over there too. And it's just like, he's like, hi, I'm Dave. I'm like, hi, I'm Dave. I love Dave. It's a good show on Hulu. It doesn't have anything to do with Dave Grohl. It's a great show on Hulu. But check this out. They told me, Printique goes, Jared, we can now do 4 feet by 8 feet. And I'm like, that would be great if I didn't crop or if I cropped images. But I had one image that could crop, and it's this one right here. Look at this. best picture ever. 4 feet by 8 feet of me in my own house. Everybody's like, you're crazy, Jared. How do you do a picture of yourself in the house? You know how you do it? You go, hey, Printique, can I do a 4 foot by 8 foot picture of myself? And they're like, sure, we want to do that. So I believe you can order this on their site. You may need to email them for a special order, but you can do these big ass metal prints. This is something that Printique needs to do one day. They need to give us the option to do this. We need to be able to print photos on blankets. This is just so that when I'm not here, the ladies or whoever's here that wants to wrap themselves in me can feel closer to me by wrapping themselves in a blanket with my photo on it. That's right, kitty. It's when you're cold, you can sleep on me. I mean, you do that anyway. All right, we're going to the piano. That's my Tyler Shields great photo. So this is the player piano. This is my buddy Stefan Macchio. Stefan Macchio, he co-wrote Wrecking Ball. He did a lot of The Weeknd, produced his first major album. He did a lot of great stuff. And being that the piano is right here, I wanted to have a piano photo on the wall. So I actually hung up a bunch of different Printique 4x6s to decide what to go with. And I ended up going with this because I loved it. But I'm also learning how to play piano, guys. Check this out. I'm gonna play something. Yeah, I didn't mean it. Again, all right? Hold on, I'm learning. I'm a month in. Give me a break. Oh, son of a Wow. There it is. All right, I'm learning. Cut me a break. Cut me a break. Anyway, so that's a great print right there. We got another 2 right here. And trying to find a place, I mean, you got to have a pretty big amount of wall space to get 4 feet by 6 feet up there. But I just thought that these 2 band photos went together really well. This was on the way to South by Southwest at a Waffle House. And this one was outside the Knitting Factory in New York City of a Scottish band called the Gyro Jets. They actually have a very good album. They broke up at some point, but the album is fantastic and it is on Spotify. But the prints are actually perfectly placed behind where my projection screen comes down so we can watch my YouTube videos myself up on the screen because, you know, that's what I do at night, watch myself on YouTube. Follow me, Steven. We got 2 more down here and that will basically wrap it up. Right, kitty? Yes? Yes? Do you want to say hi to the people? Hello, my name is Sammy Davis Jr. Kitty. Why? Because I'm black, Jewish, and I have 1 eye. That's right. That's Sammy Davis Jr. Kitty right there. He lost his eye in a car accident. And then finally, we've got this wall. We got Peretz Bernstein, AKA Perry Farrell, a nice Jewish boy from Brooklyn. Then we've got Bernie Sanders, a nice Jewish guy from Brooklyn. And I thought that they just worked well together. Bernie on the campaign trail in Iowa, right? It was Iowa? That one was Iowa. He was going into a diner and I rushed in there before him and I took the picture and then he waved me off. And as you see, I maybe would have listened if he had his mittens on. He didn't have his mittens. This was not at the inauguration. This was before that during the campaign trail. But yeah, no mittens on Bernie for this one. And then we got the cool Perry photo right here. I just absolutely love this because he took all his clothes off inside of Bloomingdale's and we got that awesome shot. And then finally, this sitting on the floor is Dave Grohl and Pat Smear right before they went on the stage to play like a 3.5-hour show in Philly. So big ass prints look cool, right? 4 feet by 6 feet. The photo book wall, I think, looks incredible. Really happy with the designer that collaborated, designed it, and built it. It's custom. It went from this is what I want, can we do it? and we made it work. So if you're looking to print anything on all different types of stuff, whether it's a big ass metal print that's 4 feet by 6 feet, or a photo book of some kind, or 4x6 prints, or canvases, or whatever else Printique offers, go over to Printique.com. There's links down below. If they're ever running any specials, maybe I'll put the link down below with a special code. I'm not sure. The moral of the story here is make physical prints. Make leave behind photo books. I make photo books for every photo shoot that I do, and I give it to the client. You can do small 4x6 books. You can do small 6x8 books. The ones I do are 9x12, and I give those because they make a massive impression. And part of the reason they make a massive impression is because they look good, they're easy to make at Printique.com, and I'm happy with the quality. So that's the not Cribs edition tour of my house. That's the Printique edition tour of all of my photos on the wall, the big ass prints, the photo books, and in the future I'll have you back for a full-on tour. But that's gonna be it. Steven, one more thing. Do you think you could help me maybe patch up this crack in this bell I found somewhere in Philly? Don't tell anybody that I have the bell, okay? All right, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of my house. I sound like one of those people at the end of Cribs now. Get.